gold bill that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychological black on firm, but we ain't all black.
Hey, y'all, what's happening? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and I am so excited to be here. You guys, come on in. Come on in. Welcome. Welcome to the Fly Nubian Queen, the channel for melanated people just like you and you and you. And as you come in, make yourself at home. And we are going to have a conversation today, you guys. I'm so excited about the conversation that we have because you know what? You guys are one of the most engaging audiences that we have. And we love to always get your perspective on these things. So as you come in, please, in the comments box, why don't you go ahead and put your name? Well, we already got your name, but put where you're from, where you're hailing from, because we know we have people that are watching from all over the world. So if you're from South Africa, hey, Queenie, what's happening, lady? If you're from Chicago, if you're from Augusta, Georgia, like my co-host is, if you are from California, live over here, come on, bring it. What's up, Tyreek? Oh, there's my boy, Tyreek. What's going on? Philadelphia, come on. You guys come on in and listen. As you know, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So this is not what we just want to talk to you. We want you to talk back to us and talk black to us, okay? So you also have the opportunity to join us live. We want you to come on in and join us live and talk about your experiences because we're going to talk about something that I think is really something that a lot of people have dealt with, a lot of people are dealing with, and a lot of times we don't know what we are dealing with or that we're dealing with this particular topic. So we want you to come on in and we want you to join us live and have this conversation. So we know we see Tariq. What's up happening? You in Philadelphia, Dinah's in North Carolina, Tanya, you in Columbus, Ohio, Original J is in Nevada. What's up, Baltimore? Hey, you know what? My kids been watching these TikToks of these Baltimoreans talking like they're from England. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't get it, but whatever. We have, you in Alabama right now, Tariq? Okay, that's what's up. Summer's in NYC. Arthur Lynette is in Charlotte. Okay, DMV for life. Listen, I am about to be bi-coastal out in the DMV. You've had an embarrassing experience. Tanya, won't you join us live and tell us about your embarrassing experience with the narcissist? As I bring my girlfriend in, hey, sis.
Hey sis, how y'all doing? How you doing?
Yes, and so let's just I'm just shouting out the folks that are chiming in. They're coming in and they're coming in slowly.
We got my family. Okay. It's a lot of my family up here, so I appreciate you. We got DMV representing, huh?
Come on, DMV. I ain't sure such a minute. Okay, that's what's up, Ronaldo. Leo
that's my brother from DC.
Okay, the DMV is in the house. Guess what, you guys? I am about to be bi-coastal in a minute. I am buying some property in the DMV and I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be out here. It's going to be off the chain. And so my girlfriend, April Sampe and I were talking and she wanted to have this dialogue about dating narcissists because I'm new out in these streets. I'm new, brand new, fresh, green. And she said, Constance, let's have a conversation about narcissists because I know you knew. And I want to, just kind of tell you what the red flags are about narcissist behavior. I don't know anything about it because I have not had the opportunity to be around any, but she going to educate us. And I've done a little research, but we also want to know your opinion. And if you've dated a narcissist, what has that been like for you in your experience, right?
Well, earlier we were talking about R. Kelly and how R. Kelly had a situation where he wasn't, you had to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Is that narcissist behavior?
To leave, huh?
Is that narcissist behavior?
You don't think? I think so. I'm going to go with
As you come in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, and make sure you share. Listen, we need all the visibility we can get on YouTube, on Facebook. So make sure you are sharing this content out because we do this for you and we love having these conversations. Make sure you're sharing it. But go ahead, on the count of three, as many people as possible. I just want you to keep hitting the like and the love button, okay?
Hit it.
1, 2, 3. La 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 la. No sad faces, no angry faces. Like la 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 la. And scene.
So listen, I dated a narcissist
because again, April Sampe, I don't know nothing about that. I'm super
No.
green, and
Okay,
I've been
I
locked
love your
on.
greenness. I
I've
do.
been
I love the fact that you're green and it's beautiful. And but I hope one day you have an opportunity to date a narcissist. And I'll tell you why.
why? Why would I do that?
Or true story. If you do it right, if you get in a relationship with a narcissist,
Okay.
the good thing is that you learn how beautiful and amazing and awesome you are as a human being.
I
You
thought it was the
actually
opposite.
start to value yourself even more. See, I was in a relationship with a narcissist. Oh, and I'm thankful for him. If it was not for him, I would not be with my husband today. Look at God. God had to show me what the exact opposite of what I wanted and needed in my life. Exactly the opposite. And then as soon as I met my husband, I was like, oh, well, that's it. That's what I was supposed to be. That's what I was supposed to be with.
Okay, I mean that's all good for the people who are like to learn lessons and they have to go overcome obstacles to go through some things to get someplace. But I heard narcissists could actually change your life,
They can. Okay, so
destroy your
I
life.
have to tell you, you have to be strong though. Like that's why I say, yeah, some people might not be able to handle it. Okay, I know you can. You know what I mean? So
I
one
don't
day,
don't put that blessing on me.
oh, that's not okay. So
No, I don't want that blessing.
okay, so I'm not going to put that on you, but if you are a strong individual, male or female, which I'm sorry to say this, gentlemen, but I don't really hear men talking about women being narcissists. I hear men talking about women in different ways. Like, what do they bring to the table? All they bring to the table is sex. They expect money. They, whatever, whatever. But when it comes to the opposite sex, it's usually, yeah, I'm saying they do both. I'm sure they do, but I very rarely hear about it. So I was going to ask for the men to like bring that out. I want to hear a man talk about it because I hear a lot about it, but it's mainly from the women. So come on now.
Yeah, and you know what I've been reading in my research is that narcissists can come in the form of a parent. You could have narcissistic parents. My friend was saying that her mom was a narcissist, and they got to a point that when she died, it was just kind of like, okay, see you later.
So what was the situation?
Well, her mom was very self-absorbed, self-centered, would always do things to get a rise. And here's what I'm hearing about the narcissist just in my research about, how they act. So there's levels to it. There's different, I guess, malignant narcissists, but what they do is there's a first step is they idealize you. They love bomb you. Oh, you're the best ever. I love you so much. I don't know what I would do without you. You are the greatest. You are the last thing I think about at night, the first thing I think about in the morning. You are just so everything to me. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. I don't know how I've lived these 35 years until I met you because you are just the greatest thing and you complete me. And then one day, boom, they devalue you. And then it's like, you can't do anything right. Damn, I didn't even know your eyebrows was crooked. Damn. You snore a little bit too loud. Oh my God. You are trying to take over this whole bed. Oh my God. Please get away from me. Don't touch me. I don't want to be bothered. Please. And then the third phase of narcissist is they discard you and they ghost you. So they get you addicted. They get you attached on and lash. They love you, love you, love you, love you. And then they start to they don't discard you. What was the next thing? They devalue you. Mm-hmm. But then they also breadcrumb you. So they breadcrumb you. They string you along and let you know just enough to show you that just kind of keep you going. So I love you, but I'm still treat you bad, but I love you. I'm convincing you that I still love you, but I'm gonna still ignore your phone calls. I love you, but I'm gonna ignore your text messages. I love you, but you know what? You get on my nerves and it's you. It's not me. I don't take any responsibility because if you weren't the way you were, then I wouldn't be mad and acting the way I act. And then all of a sudden, boom, they're gone.
I had that in real life. And the thing is, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really thought there was something wrong with me. I sat back and every time something would happen, I would go to him and say, I'm so sorry about what you did.
Sorry for breathing.
No, seriously, he would do certain things and I'd be like, I'm so sorry for what you did because it was obviously my fault that you did what you did. Then I had to stop and think about it. Wait, I'm not the one who did that. You did it. You a grown ass man. I'm gonna need you to act accordingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and there's so many people here saying so true and saying it's funny, but I know that there's so many people out there who have been through it. I have a good girlfriend who, I mean, when I tell you she was in tears almost every single day behind this man. And I'm trying to think of how she broke away. It was a situation where I think he was dating somebody else and it finally came out. I don't think she knew that he was dating somebody else. And it finally came out. And that's what finally kind of made her say, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to be embarrassed anymore. And I think that that's sometimes embarrassment. There was another young lady who was talking about it. Embarrassment is what will change us because we don't want other people to see us going through the craziness that we're going through. You know what I mean?
And then the gaslighting too. I also read about that. So they'll do something, and then when you react to it, they'll make you think that you're crazy. Like, no, I didn't. That was you. I didn't say that. You said that. Yeah. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
One of the guys that I was dating, who was a 100% narcissist, on my birthday said that he was going to take me on a trip. And on that trip, he ended up taking his cousin, and we ended up not staying overnight. Like, I had bags packed and everything. I'm like, oh, we're going. It's going to be great. And the next thing I know, I'm like, why is your cousin here with us? Oh, yeah, he's coming to handle some business. This is my birthday trip. Okay, now I see where we stand. I'm telling you that these people will make you think that there is something wrong with you. He's like, what? Well, I don't understand why you have a problem with my cousin coming along on your birthday trip that I told you that it was just going to be the two of us. What's wrong with you? And I'm looking like, you know what? Something is wrong with me. That's so selfish of me.
That's the gaslighting. Sure. And then they also talked about like how they try to do, so they'll love you, get you addicted to them, and then they'll just deprive you of that. And when they're in the value stage, so they'll they'll stop having sex with you, they'll stop doing all of those things, and you're wondering, okay, well, what did I do?
What did I do?
What did I do?
Before, real quick, can I give a shout out?
Yes,
honey, my mother is in the building.
Hey, Mama.
Wanda. How are you? Y'all tell Miss Wanda hello and tell her how beautiful she is, because she is beautiful and awesome.
Hey, Miss Wanda. How you doing, beautiful? How you doing? Yes, she is absolutely gorgeous.
My bad.
Carol said, Carlos said all his fault. You didn't have your girls with you. But it's true. Krista said when they'll blame you when it's really them, and then they'll put it all off on you. And there's everything you have single-handedly, April, destroyed this relationship because now you're selfish. Mm-hmm. It's all about you, mm-hmm. and you're like, well, what I do? I don't know. So let's bring Tyreek, because Tyreek has been in the comments box. He is now joining us. Tyreek, have you had an experience with a narcissist? What's up, brother?
Tyreek is naked.
No,
you ain't naked, are you, brother?
No, I ain't naked. I just got my shirt off because I've been working out all day. But my landlord is a narcissist.
Okay. How? What happened?
Okay, I signed up to get an apartment while I was here waiting on my situation, my settlements and whatnot. And I was hit by a truck. And because I was hit by a truck, I've been waiting on some situations, pay. But I rented a thing from the housing authority. They got this unconscionable contract, and they decided to, play me like I was a dummy. I'm not stupid. I do work for the bar association. Mm-hmm. I take care of files and briefings, all the geeky stuff. Mm-hmm. People don't even think that that's a serious. You got to be. Well, anyway, so let me get this down. Okay, so I'm renting the unit. They kept back a lot of information. They spoke a lot friendly and pumped your hand and, hey, we're gonna have a good relationship. I said, all right, well, okay, fine. Well, she played games with me, did all the narcissistic things, I'm a grown man, so I'm like, all right, this camera ain't working. All right, so can y'all see me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm like, I do work with, judges, lawyers. I just lost a lawyer friend who's supposed to be helping me with a couple of cases. I was supposed to be helping him with a couple of cases, but they don't care for my intellect. I understand, reading books in the South, what I mean, that ain't, you can't be a smart, if you're intelligent, that's gonna just like scare the out of everybody. So I
Oh,
What just happened?
okay.
Okay, I don't know what happened there, but I was looking. Am I doing research? A lot of narcissism comes from childhood trauma. So early bonds that they didn't have with their parents. If they were abused, verbally abused, mentally abused, mistreated by their parents, a lot of times, people end up becoming narcissists. If there was like not a bond, maybe their mom didn't, breastfeed them, or maybe they were put in foster care and things like that. People tend to develop narcissistic traits. And, so there's that sense of abandonment that I read that they have. There's also, there's like a bunch of traits that I'm looking at right now. And some narcissists, they have this feeling of superiority and entitlement.
Okay, so, a lot of people in corporate jobs, they'll have bosses that are narcissists.
A lot of pastors and preachers are narcissists too. A lot of people in those roles. Yep.
Now, okay, you know what? You brought up pastors and preachers, child. Okay, and I know we all have experienced some kind of trauma from our pastors and our preachers. Not everyone, I'm just saying, but there's times when they'll not necessarily put you down, but you'll feel like you're being put down because you're not dressed accordingly. You're not tithing the way that you need to be tithing. You're not, doing all the churchly things that people are supposed to be doing. And I'm just like, I wonder, now that you say that, what was their experience when they were children? You know what I mean? How were they?
You have a lot of police officers that are narcissists. They've been bullied. Again, trauma, all of those things that have affected. Oh, there's Tariq right here. I don't know what happened with Tariq. I don't know, but all of those things that are associated with narcissism. So that sense of superiority, again, the people that are in those positions of authority, a lot of times those are narcissists. Another sign of a narcissist is exaggerated need for attention and validation. Again, those people in those positions, they want to be admired. They want people to look up to them. The perfectionism. Now that perfectionism goes outward and says, you can't do anything right. You aren't good enough. At first, everything they loved about you. Remember that song by Mint Condition? The things that made me love you are the things making me fun way now. And the things that made me love you are the things that turn me away or made me walk away. In tears we stand here. We have nothing left to say. So those things that they love at first are now those things that irritate them and they cannot stand about you. They used to love your sin. Now they're like, ugh. Everything that they loved about you, that perfectionism that they have on themselves, now they expect it. Or so those flaws, a regular flaw, and you're like, listen, I am not the sum total of my mistakes or my flaws. But now those little things, those little flaws now become everything to them because they've become bored with you. Perhaps they've gotten a new supply. That's a word. And then they've gotten another supply. And so now they're seeking this new supply. And now you're not good enough for them.
So you know what? Now that you say that, it makes me think of something else, social media. I think that now that you're bringing that up, social media is creating little mini narcissists like every single day because so many people are doing any and everything that they can just to get a little bit of attention. And you got now more opportunity than ever to have your 15 minutes of fame.
That is so true. That is so true. And the thing about that is all of us have some kind of narcissistic traits or characteristics, right? So all of us have some qualities or some, so everybody has narcissistic traits, but everybody isn't a full-blown narcissist. So we all can say, you know what, there's some things that you do that, are really kind of narcissistic, but there are some people who are full-blown malignant narcissists that they require attention. They devalue their prey. They're looking for a new supply. They get bored very easily. They put you down, and they don't care. And that's the thing that I've researched too, is like, they absolutely do not care. They have no feelings. They act like they're in love, and maybe they think that they are at some point. It's just simply infatuation. They really don't love you. They're just really infatuated with you, and they become bored very easily. And they think that they do nothing wrong. They lack responsibility. They love blaming and deflecting. They will never apologize, because everything that happens wrong in the relationship is you.
You know what? And that's also true. Like the apology piece. Okay, how hard is it to apologize? I was actually talking to someone. I had a friend that I was actually talking to, and he said, no, I never apologize. I said, are you serious? So what happens when you are just flat out wrong? He's like, no, because I won't say anything unless I know I'm 100% correct.
What?
I need you to go ahead and sit your ass down somewhere.
Not 100%.
I don't say anything.
Nothing comes out of my mouth that is not correct. Is you crazy?
Right. And he was serious. I was like, okay, so when it comes to relationships, how do you handle your relationship? You can't say you can't apologize. He's like, no, I can't. Pause. So in our conversation, that was one of the things that he said, that in growing up, his mom never apologized. And so he would always pay attention to, like, how sometimes she would say things wrong. And he was like, I will never be like her. So I know that whenever I say something, I'm always going to be right in whatever I'm saying.
Whoa. You know, my mom is not a narcissist, but I remember my mama said, I pretty much think I'm the smartest person in the world. And she believes that. So there are people out there.
I love it.
My mom is, she's off the chain. But no, there are people out there that really, really believe that. Have you, and we have Tanya that's trying to get on. Tanya, I see she's backstage, but Tanya, you need to connect your device because it's not allowing you to get on. But have you dated a narcissist? So we want you to join us. We want you to join us live. And if you want to join us live, go ahead and click on the link, this link right here that we posted in the comments box. It's also in the, there we see April Sampay has it on her thing. That's also in the subject bar. Click on that link and join us live. I'm trying to get Tanya on here, but Tanya cannot hop on because her device is not connected. But have you ever dated a narcissist? And if you have, what has been your experience? Come on here and tell us. And then here's the big question, because what I've seen in my research is getting away from the narcissist has been like holy hell. So once you get in, it's easy to get in. It's kind of like a divorce. It's easy to get married. It's hard to get a divorce, especially when there's assets involved. So how did you get, if you were in a relationship with a narcissist, how did you get up out that thing?
Oh, honey, it was great. He lied about something, and he lied about something. It was such a bad lie, child. It was the funniest lie of anybody that any lie I've ever experienced. And I called him and said, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for being a part of my life, because if it was not for you, I would not love myself nearly as much as I do. So I had to thank him, and I said, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And you were free of him. See, a lot of times people have a hard time and it's destroyed their lives being in relationships with narcissists. Somebody said, have you ever been married to a narcissist? I haven't. And the reason why we are actually having this discussion is because I was talking to my good girlfriend, April Sampay, and I'm new, brand spanking new in these dating streets. I am very green. I had been married 20 plus years, been together since I was 15. So I don't know anything about this whole like dating thing. And so just trying to figure things out. And she was like, you know what? I dated a narcissist, and sister girl, I think you should date a narcissist too, because I think it's going to help build your character. That's what I don't want to do. How about that? But
I think that you should be a serial dater.
How do you know you are a narcissist? How do you know you are a narcissist? That is a great question. So April says she thinks I should be a serial dater. I don't know about none of that.
Okay, so please, ladies and gentlemen, can y'all tell, like, just put this out there. Serial dating. I'm not talking about serial sleeping with everybody. I'm talking about dating so that you can get to see what you don't want to be with. I'm just saying. 2 years ahead.
So should Constance be a serial dater?
Yes.
Put in the comments box yes or no.
And why you
Thumbs up
adding
for
two
yes,
thumbs up?
thumbs up for no, thumbs down for no. I say no. And I see Tanya is ready. She got her camera together. What's up, baby girl? How you doing, Miss Tanya?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks. I'm surprised
Yes.
you had this. I'm just now getting out of a relationship over 20 years with a narcissist.
What? Well, tell us all about it, girlfriend. What happened?
It was a nightmare.
What happened?
I tried to get away and I couldn't get away. He followed me. I had to let go of my house and move in with my mother to get away.
What? So, I mean, how did you deal with it for 20 years?
I have two daughters, so I had to deal with it until they graduated. And I would always say when they graduate, I'm leaving. And I tried to leave, but he followed me. But it was a little scary too, because like you said, they're very controlling. They do give you their love and then they take it away and they disappear and they're just very strange. And just, if it doesn't go their way, it's crazy. So I just pretty much grinded those years and did what I had to do to take care of my girls. And then when it was time to move on, I did. And then he eventually left.
Oh, he eventually left.
He left. Yeah, he was like, I'm done. I'm tired of this. And I was happy. Like,
So,
okay, great.
okay, so when they leave, here's what I hear. So when they leave, they always resurface. How long has he been
I'm
gone?
moving out of the state. So that's
Well, here's the
Don't
other
tell us where
thing.
you going, but where you going? No, just joking.
Here's the other thing is they always stalk you.
yeah, they do.
Always
I
looking.
saw a tracker on my phone, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure how to block that. Yeah, they do.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
so somebody asked earlier, how does one know if he's a narcissist? How do you know that you're a narcissist?
The things that she said earlier, a narcissist, they will give you attention and they'll take it away, and then they'll disappear, and then they'll act like everything is your fault when they're the ones acting crazy. And
See?
they have no feelings.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is they don't feel anything. Like they have no empathy. And what from what I understand is they are connected. They're attracted to empaths, people who exhibit a lot of empathy because you are sitting there trying to empathize and love, 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 trying to figure them out, trying to help, nurture, nurture, nurture. And they are just, they're just sucking you dry. They're sucking all that love and love, love, love out of you. And you trying to help them and you not even realizing that there's no hope for them because they are just, they're empty zombies basically is what I read. It's like they're just
That's exactly what it is. We had a party one time and they said, what would you say that your husband is? I said a zombie. He doesn't have any feelings. He doesn't have any intentions, but his own. They only care about one thing themselves. And then when they don't get what they want, they leave. And you have to and how I got out of it, I don't know how I got out of it. It was very spiritual. I told my daughters I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, but I was going to get out of it. And I did. And, I cried a lot. And this has just been only 2 weeks. So
he'll be back. And so the question is, how are you preparing yourself for when
I'm hoping he does not come back though.
No, I moved with my mother, so he can't come back. So
he can't come to your mama house, but he gonna be begging and pleading and everything else. If he's been around, yes, they're master manipulators. Mm-hmm. When he comes back, he's gonna say all the right things. He's going to tell you all the right things. He's gonna get you back. He may even cry. Mm-hmm. Little crocodile tears.
We've been through that already. We've been through all that.
Mm-hmm. And he'll be back again. 2 weeks, baby.
No, we've been through that.
Just prepare for when he
Look, he's cut off. You are not going to put that on her.
No, I'm not saying she's going to take him back. I'm saying he's going to come back. It's up to her. So what is she going to do?
I got him to tell me that he didn't care about me anymore. And
he'll be back.
Said that was it. Like I got him to do it, and that's what you need to do. You need to get them to come out and say they're leaving you, they're done, and then when they try, they can't come back. They can't come back from that.
No. They do that because they ghost you, right? But then when you ghost them, that's when it's over. That's when you gain your control.
You have to outsmart them. You have to trick them. And I tricked him into leaving me, period. He's not coming back from that. I'm out. When I move, he won't know where I'm at. I have a pod. I don't have a U-Haul. I don't have a storage. So when it goes, it's going with me, and he there's no forwarding.
Wow. Well, thank you, Mama. Thank you for being on. We appreciate it. If you
Thanks
guys,
for having us.
yes,
I appreciate that.
yes. If you guys have experiences with dating narcissists, marrying a narcissist, and listen, somebody said we male bashing. We're not male bashing, April. You even said males. There are male narcissists. There are female narcissists, and just like the brother said, males are not being represented. So if you've had an experience, the brother said that he had an experience with his narcissist, but she cried all the damn time. It doesn't mean that she's not a narcissist.
No, it definitely.
I think a lot of times when people really need to do the research, but they need help. They need to see a psychiatrist to see. And from what I read, narcissists cannot be cured. What do you think about that?
Right. I actually don't. So
the blood of Jesus, anybody can be cured.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I really do think that right now you have a new group of narcissists that are forming because of like social media. And because so many people are craving attention, you know what I mean? So I would say like one thing that we all have to do is check ourselves. Like actually stop and say, hold on, wait. Did I handle this right? Wait, did this person say this and was I actually wrong? Like check yourself. Go talk to your friends. Just like Constance said, go talk to a therapist. They are needed, and they really do a good job. Like if you really get a good one, hello,
right?
I'm telling you, like get a good one though. So, ladies and gentlemen, please,
you can the blood of Jesus. Kimberly said narcissists are known for the silent treatment as well. So they take, they'll stop talking to you. That's they'll ghost you. That's part of the devaluing is the silent treatment. So they may just not talk to you, and then
I mean, is that really a thing? Like from a narcissist, like the silent treatment? How does that work? Like just
I guess they just stop talking. From what I read, they just stop talking to you, and then they don't want to, they don't want to do it to you, and then it's all part of like the breadcrumbing. I'm gonna give you a little bit. I'm gonna take it away. I'm gonna give you a little bit, just to kind of string you along and keep you going, and then I'll stop. And then
I didn't experience that part of the narcissism. But
no, he wasn't taking that away from you.
He never gave me the silent treatment, and no, he did try to take away from me. And I remember I was like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, listen, I have a standing appointment with somebody else. So if that's what you want to do, I can definitely go back to my regular appointment. Hello, don't play with me."
She said narcissism is a legit personality disorder. Many narcissists have experienced some sort of childhood trauma. Tamika, that's exactly what we said is, if a lack of love from their mom, maybe their mom and dad, there was some kind of bonding, but there was that childhood trauma. Y'all being gophers. Okay, Carlos. Well, Carlos, come on here and talk to us and tell us your experience from dealing with a narcissist female, because we would love to hear you. Amen, April.
Hey. Listen, hold on. I forgot I had to give a shout out to Tamika. That's family too. But yeah, I swear when it comes to relationships and again, just like you said, relationships do not have to be somebody that you're sexually involved with. It can be a parent. It could be a teacher. It could be a pastor. It could be your boss. The thing is though, how do you deal with, hey, Kelly, I didn't even realize that was you, baby. How do you deal with these people that are in your life that are narcissists?
I think somebody said you have to go no contact. So what you have to do is you have to go no contact. You ghost them before they ghost you. And if you go no contact, then, it's kind of like just be done with them and not go back.
See, but that's the thing. I think that if you do it that way, there's no closure. And I agree with the no contact. Yes, stay away. But once you say, I'm done with you, you have to actually say those words, I'm done with you. I don't think you should just ghost. I think you should say, I'm done with you. Because then you're just doing the same thing that they did.
Well, then you say you're done with them, then they're gonna then you give the power back to them, and then they'll ghost you, and then they'll be like,
No. If you say I'm done with you, there's no ghosting after that.
You can't reason. You can't reason with the narcissist.
Huh?
But Jackson is on here. What's up, Jackson?
Just hanging out. I'm the one say I think I'm a narcissist, but I don't know if I'm a narcissist or not.
So why do you
Okay,
think
tell
that,
us
Jackson?
why.
Let's talk about it, brother. Let's come on.
Well, because I got a lot of babies' mamas, and I just seem to lose interest a lot.
Oh, fix it, Jesus.
With everybody?
You have.
Well, yeah, being honest. I mean, I'm pushing 50. I'm 47 years old. I got to fix this. I'm gonna
Have
be
you been married?
You have.
Have you been married?
Yeah, I was married. I think I was married to a narcissist, getting everything that I gave out.
That part. Okay, so tell us about how that worked. So you were a narcissist. What things did you do in the relationship?
Nah, I don't know. I think we was both narcissists because it just went both ways. Like
I'm not talking about with her. I'm just talking about in general in your relationship. So do you like get really obsessed and
It
like
was-
really
it
love
was
people
really-
initially?
Yeah, at first, but that was mutual. But then it came and went between us. Like I would get really obsessed and want to know a whole lot, and then I would get disinterested and I would go about my business. And then she would do the same thing. She would get really interested, and then while I'm doing my business, while I'm being me, you know what I'm saying? And then I would fall into that, and then we'd be together for a little while, and it would go again. There we go again. It seemed like I get too interested and I'm being too pushy, and then I back off, and then here we go. I'm giving her the silent treatment, and she being, now I feel like she being too pushy. You get what I'm saying?
It sounds like a lot of cat and mousing with you guys. But are you doing this with every relationship? Because it sounds like you did it with your wife, but that might just been that relationship.
What I learned, what I thought I learned, and this is why I think I'm a narcissist still, because what I thought I learned was if you don't have nothing nice to say in a relationship, calm down until you can say something right instead of barking or badgering or pointing fingers, where you can actually have a conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes I do give the silent treatment, but that's because I don't know how to say, look, mother, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that, but so I want to be more crafty with it, but I'm mad. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, but see, and some of the things that the comments are saying is narcissists don't care.
Yeah, no.
Narcissists, they just so they it's a game to them. They're playing on another person's emotions, and more than likely they're playing on somebody who is more of like a really, really caring person. And so they get them locked in, and then they're like, okay, I'm bored with you, be gone. And then, but they'll, hey, I'm gonna keep you around just long enough because I might need something from you. It may be financial, it might be security, it might be whatever. And then all of a sudden, I found somebody else. I'm bored with you. So now I'm over here and I'm out. F what you talking about until I get bored with this person. And it's a cycle that goes over and over and over again.
Well, I thought, and see, then I started to learn that, and it's just me, the way I took it in was that you don't want to be needed. You want to be loved.
Sure. I want both.
So is that where do you fall in this?
Right now, I'm loved. But before, I feel like even with all the relationships, because I lived a fast life, everybody was hustling. It wasn't like I wasn't messing with nobody that wasn't doing what I was doing. You don't mess with people that don't have the same intentions. You get where I'm coming from? It's like a whole neighborhood because I come from the crack era. Do you dig where I'm coming? What I'm saying? And it's just generally speaking, as a man that comes from this era that's trying to fix the situation with my children and stuff, because I don't want to be like me. So when I say that we was all hustling, we didn't have, I mean, the game, it was what it was. But what I learned is that certain people loved each other, and everybody else, it depended on what you needed and what a person had, whether you mess with a person or not. You get where I'm coming from?
I do get where you're coming from, brother. But again, narcissists don't have caring or compassionate. You sound like you care about the situation. You care about the relationship. So if
you sound like you care about it, but you also sound bored.
Yeah, and somebody said it sounded like a immaturity with you and your wife. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like, because you do have that. It's you're chasing, like it's the thrill of the chase. That's one thing. You like to chase, and then once you get the catch, then you kind of back off, and then she's chasing you, and and that happens. That's not necessarily narcissism, but there are narcissistic traits.
Well, she talked to her friends, and I overheard one night. On the speakerphone, I had to pee because I got to go to work early in the morning and she get off late at night. So sometimes I really don't never get in nobody's business, but I had to pee this night and I heard her friend, he a narcissist, and she was telling him because we was into it, but that's her best friend. She don't know that I know because that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be starting no mess. Like, I don't know how the conversation started. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? I can't blame the homegirl because the homegirl ain't here. She don't know everything. She just know what
she just knows she said. I don't think you're a narcissist though. I really don't. And I have a friend who found out that her brother was a narcissist, and then she started going to therapy, and then everybody, oh, he's a nar, so the people don't. Narcissist is also a very, very, very overused word. And so a lot of people will say people are narcissists and they're really not. So narcissists don't give a damn. Rich Nice, I like what he said. Rich Nice said, let's define narcissism again. It's a need for admiration, disregard for others' feelings. You care about her. Inability to handle any criticism and a sense of entitlement. They're very, very sensitive and they have a sense of entitlement. So those are narcissistic traits. I don't think you really exhibit those. Do you think?
Yeah. I do.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that I'm trying to. If I go to college and you don't go to college, and somebody asks me something about a certain problem, and I give them my answer, and then you give them your answer, am I a narcissist if my answer is better?
No, because I think I'm pretty smart. My answer is better than yours. But that's not the grandiosity though that we're talking about. I think the grandiosity is we think we're better than everybody.
But you see what that one statement you put up there, it said, country boy, yes, we think we're better than everybody, or there it goes. It makes themselves the best at everything they do. Mm-hmm. Is it really narcissism when like I also cook. A chef that does a lot of celebrities. He drove down here and said, you want to go to Ohio with me? They're having this vintage wine festival in Cleveland, and I want to take you to be my sous chef. Cool. I went with her. But when I work in a restaurant or I'm helping restaurant people, they say I'm a narcissist because I think I'm better than them.
No.
That's
I think it's overused.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that I think I'm better than them.
People are just competitive.
The best. I just think I'm the best me that I can be.
Well, yes, and you be the best me that you can be. But I think you should go and find a nice therapist and have a conversation with them, and they'll be able to tell you right then and there, based on the conversation. Just be as honest and upfront. And because I was about to say,
like Regina said, narcissists aren't even going to tango in this kind of dialogue. They're going to be doing all the talking, and they won't allow anything else.
Only way you know you sick. Sometimes you don't know you sick, so sometimes you got to ask somebody.
Absolutely right, brother.
And the best person to ask is total strangers because they don't give a damn. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, y'all.
And that's very true.
But the beautiful thing is the thing that April said. She said the best thing, because we ain't therapists, so we can't diagnose you. We can only give you our opinion. But to sit down and talk to somebody, and they could kind of go through the narcissistic traits and tell you if you are a full-blown narcissist. If you really, really want to know, you should probably seek professional help.
I agree with Geraldine.
Ooh, you said he sounds arrogant?
I mean, a little bit, because he's like, but it's nothing bad. You can be a little arrogant if you want to.
Everybody has a little arrogance in them. I mean, hopefully, if you have some amount of success, there has to be some kind of
arrogance and narcissism are two different things. You can be a little arrogant. Ain't nobody gonna look at you sideways.
But am I being arrogant by telling what happened? I'm just telling what happened. Okay. I didn't mean to be. And see, that's what I'm saying. It seems like I come off arrogant or something when I tell.
Again, you care. You care.
No, that's the point.
Don't give a damn.
and that's kind of the point. You sound more arrogant than than a narcissist. Like I said, a great therapist is in. I see a great therapist in your future. I do not think that this is that. Like right now, you're talking about how much you care. Right now, you're talking about the fact that you care about what she thinks. You care about the fact that she told her friend. A narcissist wouldn't. A narcissist would be like, all right, well, I'm done with you. On to the next on to the next one. Speaking of which,
thank you, Jackson. We appreciate you hanging out with us. All right, have a good one. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about narcissists and how to tell if you are dating a narcissist. And this is not a gender biased conversation. This is not a dialogue. It is a monologue. I mean, it's not a monologue. It's a dialogue. We want you to talk back to us and talk black to us. So, if you have had experience, and we see there are a lot of experts in the comments box, come on and join us. You are listening to the Fly Nubian Queen. Hey, sis, with my girl, Miss April Stampay, and I'm your girl, Constance Carter. And we just talk about what we're talking about. So go ahead and join us if you have anything that you want to contribute to the conversation, because there's a whole lot of expert therapists on here today that have a lot to say and a lot of information about narcissism. What is your opinion? So go ahead and hit on the topic bar. Go ahead and click the link, or in the comments box, which I just put in there again, go ahead and click on that link and join us live, because we want to know your opinion on narcissism. Because here's how this topic came up. I'm very new out in these streets. I'm in the streets now, y'all. I'm very, very, very new. And I don't have much experience. And my girl April said, listen, I think you should date a narcissist just so you can kind of see how well you are, how good, so you can really see your true value. I don't think so. I think you should be I'm not the type of person that says, Lord, use me so to take me through some things so I can learn my lesson. I can learn from other people's experience. I'm very good at that. So I don't need to date a narcissist, but April says I do. What do you guys think? What did Nat say?
I think you should be dating more than just a narcissist. I think you should be dating a whole bunch of people. I think that when you date more people, you get an opportunity to see what you don't want. If you date with an open mind, and if you date with not necessarily intention, date with my brain just fell out of my head. When you're present. When you're dating, be completely and totally present. Don't look at the person's shoes. Don't look at the fact that the person's teeth are a bit on the yellow side. Don't look at the fact that he might have a little bald spot somewhere. Okay?
Would I be considered a narcissist if I'm picky?
No, you would be considered picky.
Like if his teeth are discolored, and I mean, is that a bad thing that I don't want to go out with him?
Yeah, well, okay, so if that's the only issue that he has, it is just the fact that he has a little discoloration. I'm just saying that's something you can easily get fixed, child. I'm just saying.
If he's been living 50 years with discoloration teeth, you think since he's dating me, he's going to get that fixed?
If you tell him. Okay. So here's the thing, and that's something that you will learn, because if that's the one thing, if you have an opportunity to meet somebody who is completely awesome from head to toe, please don't. It'll change your life. What do you mean? Don't date a narcissist?
I mean, the thing about it though, Miss Stampay, is if you can't get past the yellow teeth, I won't even know if he's a great guy. Let's bring on Miss Kimberly Stewart. Let's see what she got to say about this. What's going on, lady? She has been the expert narcissist whisperer on the broadcast. What's going on?
I'm not going to say that I am an expert. I was in a relationship with a narcissist for about 4.5 years. I will say that.
Why'd you stay so long?
Let me tell you something. What people do not understand is that you can't just look at it from a practical point of view. You can't just look at it from a point of view of talking to somebody who's gone to a counselor. This has a lot to do with spiritual warfare.
Let's talk about it.
And a lot of people don't understand that. In the beginning, I saw a lot of the red flags.
Like what?
Wow. Being that I was in the church already, I had a lot of experience. I'm a spiritual person. So I knew what to look for. And I think one of the reasons why I stayed for so long is because there were inadequacies in me. Okay. And sometimes, due to the inadequacies, we look to other people to try to fulfill certain things in our lives.
Mm.
And that is one of the reasons why I look beyond the red flags. One of them
Sure.
was we were just having a normal conversation. And out of nowhere, he just started cursing at me. I don't know if I said something to trigger something, but he just started cursing me out. And I remembered the day after, I said, we need to sit down and we need to talk about this. And he came to the house and immediately he told me, I don't want to talk about it. Can we just, move on? And I said, no, I like to sit down and talk about things. And that's one thing that a narcissist does not want to do. They do not want to sit down and hash out the issues. They want to continue to cover things up, brush it underneath the rug, and forget about it. Okay. Everything is always all about them. When you try to talk to them, they're constantly talking over you, so you can't get a word in edgewise. If they're cheating on you, and you know they're cheating on you, they will begin to gaslight you. And that is the beginning of crazy making. And mentally, I'm telling you, I was so mentally destroyed at the end of this relationship. I was a complete shell of myself. I didn't know if I was coming or going at times.
Wow.
Okay. So it goes beyond just they're a narcissist and this, that, and the third. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that Satan was the original narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He was the originator of narcissism. That's why he was cast out of heaven with a third of the angels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can go really deep with this, but we'll be on here all night. But I truly believe that narcissists, for those of you that are spiritual and you really dig deep into this subject, I believe that they are the fallen angels.
Oh, wow.
I believe that they are the Nephilim, because one of the main things that a narcissist will use is sex.
What do you mean?
That is one of the number one things that we get caught up on is sex.
In what way? So they want to have sex all the time, or they what?
Not just that, but it becomes like a spirit. It's a stronghold. You want to leave, in your right mind that you need to leave, but you can't. And I tell people all the time, if you have never been in a relationship with a narcissist, you can't just tell people to leave. It is not easy.
No, it's not. But you definitely see your true strength afterwards.
How did you leave?
Honey, it was only by the grace of God. He snatched me out, literally. I remembered my last encounter with him. I went to his house and all I wanted to do was talk. And it wound up becoming a domestic violence situation.
Wow.
And even after he put his hands on me, I still told the cops, I don't want him to go to jail. That's how warped in your mind you are behind these people.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I was in the pulpit preaching and all that. I thought I was, I was untouchable. But let me tell you something. It was an experience that I had to go through to prepare me for the war that's coming.
That's right.
That's how deep this thing is. It's so much. Let me tell you something. It is so much deeper than what we're talking about on tonight. This is a spiritual thing.
Wow.
And if you have not been through a relationship with a narcissist, because I've had friends that were with narcissists, but I didn't know what a narcissist was until I was in this situation myself. And I would tell them, why don't you just leave? I had a friend of mine, her jaw was broken. And she said, Kim, I can't leave. Now I understand why she couldn't leave. It is a stronghold like never before. It is a stronghold like never before. I don't care how strong you are in the Lord. Let me tell you something. This is a war that I would not wish on my worst enemy, because mentally, and some people say that I would rather be hit and beaten than to be mentally destroyed by a narcissist, because you can heal from the wounds, but mentally, they destroy you. They destroy you.
So Kim, how did he bring you in? Because you talked about sex. Did he do that love bombing thing? Love. Did he do all of that stuff? And then the devaluing, and then the discard? Was it like textbook narcissism like that, or how did yours work?
Honey, let me tell you something. The love bombing, he had a very deep voice, kind of like Barry White. So they draw you in. That spirit, it draws you in. I can't really explain. There's no words to really explain it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's just a stronghold. It's a really, really bad stronghold.
And when you left, did he try to come back?
Let me tell you something. They put him in jail. Okay. And I did not talk to him. And mind you, we work at the same place. 17 days went by and he inboxed me at work. And he said, "I'm so sorry for the things that we've gone through. Not I'm sorry what I did to you.
Yeah.
But I'm so sorry for the things that we went through." And mind you, he was cheating. And he thought I didn't know, but I knew. And the flying, I could write a book. The flying monkeys. If you know what a flying monkey is.
No, what's that? What's a flying monkey?
The flying monkeys are the people that they utilize to create a smear campaign about you and to make you look bad in the eyes of other people, when they are in fact the master manipulator behind it all. So it's like they start incorporating friends and family to make you look bad. And I went through that.
Wow.
But the thing about it is, one of the main reasons why I left was because of my son. And the whole time I'm thinking I'm hiding everything from him. After everything, after the plane landed and the dust settled, my son said, "Mom, I need to talk to you." And the things that my son revealed to me, only God could have revealed it to him.
How old was your son?
My son is now 16, and I was with this guy for 4.5 years.
How old was your son when you left him?
15.
Oh, you just left him last year.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so glad that you got out of that situation.
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you something. The moment that I left, because a lot of things were messed up, finances, all kinds of stuff. This is how deep it was. And some people might call me stupid, but I'm not the only one that has done this. I had built a brand new house from the ground up. And I moved out of my house to be closer to him. Brand new house. Brand new home. I moved to be with this man. Only to find out that he was cheating after I got up here to be with him.
Wow. How did you find out he was cheating?
Wow. So he told me one night, he said, "Kim, look, I want to start spending time by myself." And I said, "That's kind of out of nowhere." And he said, "I want to start splitting my time, so you need to pick which days you want to see me." And I said, "Hold on, wait a minute. After all this time now, I need to pick days?" So on the very first day that he started spending time by himself, I got in my car and I drove to his house. And that's how I found out. And the flying monkey jumped in my face And she started running her mouth. And me, if I don't know you, I'm not going to talk to you. But she jumped in my face and she started running her mouth. And I'm looking at him like, who is she? And this is the crazy part, because she knew everything about me, but I knew absolutely nothing about her.
One thing that I never understood, and it's I like the term the flying monkeys. One thing that I've never understood is how, when you have situations like that, how people enable them or just allow it to continue to happen. You know, he's in a relationship with somebody else. Why are you attacking me when I'm the person he's in the relationship with? You know, he's in the relationship with me, and so you're telling him it's okay to continue doing what you're doing. That's belittling that woman.
Exactly.
They're smooth.
Exactly. Like I said, if Satan could beguile Eve after God revealed everything to her about her, it's the same spirit. It's that, when I say it's that strong, and I tell people, first of all, when you're coming out of a relationship with a narcissist, the first thing people want to say is just get over it. It's not that easy, especially when you have been mentally manipulated. Exactly. They study you. They study you.
What do you mean they study you? How did he study you?
They sit back. One of the things is that you tell them everything about you, but they never reveal anything about themselves. So you're the one that's constantly doing all the talking while they're sitting back listening, taking notes. And as I explained before, they have the flying monkeys. So they are basically giving all the flying monkeys information about you, and they're going back and studying you as well and reporting back to the narcissist.
Really?
That way, when the discard doesn't just happen one time. The discard happens multiple times.
What do you mean?
Like with the gaslighting, and then the silent treatment, and then coming back and love bombing you all over again. It's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. They love bomb you, silent treatment, leave you, come back, act as if nothing happened, love bomb you all. It's the cycle until you decide it's over, when you decide that it's over.
So you're on this hamster wheel that just keeps going and going and going, and you cannot get off, because they will not get off. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
As long as you allow it.
So let me ask you this. What did you do to heal after?
Oh, wow. You know what's so funny? Because I'm on Facebook, and me, I don't just invite anybody onto my page, but I know it was divine, because a lot of the people that I wound up befriending, they had also gone through narcissistic relationships. And so what I did is I formed a group on Facebook, and I actually did a live panel a few months back, and it consisted of a minister. It consisted of a psychologist and a few survivors, such as myself. And that actually assisted with my healing process, because before we went live, we would have meetings over a period of months, and just allowing each other to hash out, our hurts and our disgust, and the things that we learned as a result of being with the narcissist. That helped with the healing process. It really did.
Wow.
And just being able to go live and knowing that there were so many other people. There's so many people that have suffered at the hands of narcissists. So many.
And now you're helping other people.
Made me stronger.
identify, because really some people think this is just a normal relationship. Some people
It's
have
not.
no idea that they're dealing with narcissists and this
But
is
that's
not
because
normal.
but if you think about it, that's because of how they grew up. So they probably have always been surrounded by narcissists. And
Oh
so
yeah.
they don't know how to interact outside of those types of relationships. But I think that like there's so many women that I know who have gone through it. Now, they haven't gone through it to the point where it's physical abuse.
Right.
But they have gone through it, and all of them have come out so much stronger on the other side.
Yes.
And they have come out more spiritual. They've come out loving themselves.
Mhm.
And so when I talk to Constance, that's one of the things that I want her to experience. I don't want her to experience, pause, rewind. I don't want you to experience the negative part of it. I want you to experience the empowering part of it, which is one of the reasons why I say I think you should be a serial dater. Don't necessarily have to date a narcissist, but you should date a lot so you could see what you don't want, since you have been with the same person for the last 20 some odd
30 years. 30 years.
30 years. So if you've been with somebody for 30 years, you need to know what you don't want. You need to experience the good and the bad, so you can be able to say, you know what, this is going to be my person. This is going to be my forever person when you finally meet that one person, versus being like, you know what, I just like this guy because he has really nice teeth.
Well, if he doesn't have really nice teeth, I won't know if he's a good guy or not, because I ain't gonna go out with him. However, comma, the thing about it is, somebody said, "How do you know that you're dating a narcissist?" And there's, from what I read, so go on Quora. Quora has like all of this information on narcissism. When April told me that she wanted to talk about this tonight, I went on Quora and just did a bunch of research. But there is like a textbook way that a narcissist act, and they all act the same. So if you go on there, it tells you exactly how they act, and everybody was like, mine too. So again, they idealize you. Love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. And then they devalue you. Now you can do nothing right while breadcrumbing you. So they devalue you, but I love you, I love you, I love you. But you know what? I don't want to see you this week. I don't want to, I want to be bothered with you. I need certain days where I want to see you, because I can't see you on other days. You are my Monday through Thursday. And then, but I love you though. I love you. And then all of a sudden they ghost you. And then they're gone. And you're like, well, what happened? And they do it in such a cruel way that there's no closure a lot of the times. There's no closure. And so you're like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? And then so now you're torturing yourself and trying to figure out, well, what happened? He just loved me. He loved me, or she loved me. She loved me so much. And then all of a sudden they're gone, and you're left to trying to pick up the pieces. And so that's mental anguish. That's mental torment that you have because you fell in love with this person who was just, firing on all cylinders. They checked all the boxes. Oh, you like that? Oh, me too. Oh, you do that? Oh, me too. And you're the best, and you're the beautifulest, and you're the everything that I've ever wanted. I don't know how I've lived these 45 years without you, because you are everything. And then all of a sudden they're gone. And you're like, and so now you've become addicted to that. It's like crack. And now you're longing for that. I want it again, and I want it with him, or I wanted it with her, and only her, and nobody else can take that person's place.
You just said something, because a lot of people do compare being with a narcissist to being like addicted to a drug. It is like being addicted to a drug. You go through withdrawals. And then, even though I've been gone for almost a year, there are times, and I will admit, because I'm not going to lie to myself, there are times where I find myself wanting to be back in that place. But then I think about the mental anguish. And there is also something else that you touched on. I remembered he was leaving my house one day, and he was telling me how he was going to go spend time with his friend. And I looked at him and I said, how could you? And he looked me dead in my face. And he asked me, he said, aren't you tired of being tortured? Only someone that is demonic will ask something like that. And at that point, I knew that it was time to go. I just didn't know how. But he asked me that question.
Mm.
And
Aren't
it
you
was,
tired of being tortured?
yeah, he asked me if I was tired of being tortured. And he laughed and he pulled off. But I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to get off. The silent treatment. It's not all about them ghosting you. Because there were many times where I was at my house and he'd be somewhere else. And I could sense his spirit torturing me. Because this is a spiritual thing. And I remembered, again, we worked together and we used to trail each other coming back home. And one night he tried the silent treatment on me. And I said, why are you doing this? And he said, you don't know what I'm thinking, do you? And I cried that night. And I got off the phone with him and I cried out to God and I said, God, I'm your daughter. I can't do this anymore. I said, I can't do this anymore. When you belong to God, he will take care of you. That night, the man had a stroke and he called me. I didn't wish anything upon him, nothing. He called me that night and he said, I am having a stroke. And I immediately got out of bed, went to his house. The ambulance was already there and his baby boy was there at the house. So I stayed behind and I waited on his mom to come get him. And I was there at the hospital until he was released.
What's that movie? What's that Tyler Perry movie?
Oh, the Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah.
It's crazy how things work out when they are at their absolute lowest.
Mm-hmm.
And who do they call? I have a friend who actually the same situation happened to. She had been married to him for years. He was in two or three full on relationships with other women while he was married to her. And then he ended up having a stroke, a heart attack. I think it was a heart attack. I think he had a heart attack. And then she ended up going back to be with him. I think it was a heart attack. But they had like 4 kids. It was just a strange situation because she ended up moving like out of state and moved back to the old state just to be with him.
You know what I'm seeing is the callousness of the narc, just the callousness and the cold-heartedness. And they don't have feelings. Did you know he was a narcissist when you were with him, or did you identify that after you left?
I identified it about 2 years into the relationship. And then
and would you give him excuses and say, oh, well, you know what, maybe he's not a narcissist?
I didn't even know what a narcissist was until later on in the relationship. But
right,
I did.
After you knew, did you say, well, maybe he's not? And
I did. I would go back and forth, but it wasn't until I had nowhere else to turn. And the only place that I knew to turn was to his ex-wife, because a lot of stuff that he told me about her, I was like, well, if you're such a good man, why would she leave you? And so I was at my wit's end. When I say I was at my wit's end, I had nobody to talk to because I was embarrassed about the situation. Because my friends know me to be a very strong, outspoken person. And to allow this man to break me down was embarrassing. So I reached out to her, not knowing how she was going to respond. And one of the first things that I told her, I said, your ex-husband is a narcissist. I wrote a novel to this lady, not knowing how she was going to respond. And after I hit the period, this woman responded and she said, you're telling me something that I already know. She was with him for 13 years. And she volunteered so much information that it actually gave me a release. And she kept asking. the main thing she asked me, she said, Kimberly, she said, can you leave and stay away?
Mm.
She asked me that. She asked me that.
I got goosebumps.
And could you at that time?
I could not. I left for 2 weeks and went back. But
This is a good question. Did you both become friends?
We did not. We didn't become friends like that. I probably spoke to her for about 2 weeks, and then it kind of winged off because I went back. I went back to him, and he was a malignant narcissist. He was.
And so he does that in all of his relationships.
All of
You can't help it.
All of his relationships, and this is the part. When I met his family, his oldest sister, she asked me, she said, how do you deal with him and all his mess? At the time, I didn't know what she was talking about. And then his other sister told me, she said, honey, he always has 2 or more friends. You know how they like to use the word friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. But I found out. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to leave. I promise you I am.
Hey, before you leave, though, make sure you let us know what the Facebook group is, because people are asking.
Yes, ma'am. And it is a private group. But after leaving, my finances increased. I opened up a business.
Wow.
And he cursed my business. Oh, he cursed my business several times. And my business allowed me to get out of debt. I have such a large testimony.
Yes.
But I can't even begin to tell you how good things have been since I left. I can't even begin to tell you.
He was holding you back. That's right.
Yeah, he was.
What a blessing, child.
Kim, when he would talk about his ex-wife, would he blame her for everything?
Yes, he would. But you know what? I would always listen to this sad sob story about how she was the crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
And
you started to believe it.
And I believed it. You know, he said she just woke up one day and packed up the things and had the babies ready, and how he was going to keep one child and she was going to keep the other one, and so on and so forth. But he left out a lot of important information. He left out a whole lot of information.
Honey, I had that same situation. My ex used to talk about his children's mother on a regular basis so bad. And to the point where I was looking at her sideways. Honey, they had an experience. Something happened with their child. And when I tell you that woman was the best mother, like I still talk to her. I talk to her every once in a while to this day. I apologize to her. I was never rude to her, but I apologized to her just for having the thoughts about her that I had. And she was like, no, I understand. I definitely understand.
You know, the thing about it is being able to break away, and most people, you know, just have this traumatic experience of trying to break away from the narcissist. And I think that's the biggest key here, is showing people how can you break away, because that addiction is really real. You know, that trauma bonding is real, that breadcrumbing, all the things that they do to keep you tied to them until they decide that they want to discard you and be done with you. You are on the hook.
But they're never done with you. You're just put on a shelf.
Yeah.
They're going to come back. Yeah, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
Kimberly, real quick, again, I know that you said your group is private, so can people join that group or not?
Yeah. They can join. They can come to my Facebook page and join, because it's like a messenger group. It's not like a out in the open group. It's a messenger group.
Okay.
But my name is Kimberly D. Stewart. I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm actually planning a conference. You know, even in the midst of COVID, I'm trying to plan a conference. It'll be in Killeen, Texas. I'm in the Central Texas area.
Okay.
But like I said, you can go to my Facebook page under Kimberly D. Stewart.
Okay.
BRLEY? Oh, LY.
LY.
Stewart. All right, Kimberly D. Stewart. I'm gonna put that in the comments box.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Thank you, ma'am.
Well,
Man,
thank you guys for having me on tonight. Y'all be blessed.
Honey.
you too. That was an amazing testimony, and thank you. You certainly did shed a lot of light to the conversation, because you've really had some really deep experience, a lot more experience than, of course, I haven't had any experience, and April has had kind of minimal experience. But I mean, I just, for the people who are watching, who are in these situations, I want to know how they get away. And so let's answer that question. How can someone get away from a traumatic, narcissistic relationship? How do they do that? So, Kimberly, thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you, lovely lady.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So Jay, our good friend Jay, is back, and he's bringing a male perspective to the situation. Hey, Jay. We can't hear you, brother. You're on mute.
My bad. Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. What's happening, Jay?
Yeah, so I was in a relationship with a narcissist
Got a male
and
perspective.
yeah, and it caught me off guard because like a lot of my life I was focusing on building business. I was always like just had my head in books and learning. And so when I ran into a narcissist, I didn't know the love bombing and all that. It just kind of caught me off guard. And then that's when she got me with the love bombing and stuff like that. But to your point of like
Wait. How long did love bombing last?
Couple months.
What are some examples?
So it was overly praising, and that's like one of the biggest red flags. Like when someone's like, "Oh, you're so amazing, you're so great," you don't even know me. I could be the biggest dirtbag this side of California, but I'm just this great, amazing, and it's true. I'm a dope dude, but it's like you don't know me like that. Like I ran into a narcissist a couple months ago. I was like, my red flags went up this time because I'm like, hold on, I can't be the greatest guy you ever met. I could be the dirtiest dog you ever met, and you don't know. We've been dating 2 days now.
Wow.
So
Ooh,
it's just a constant just praise and adoration and just always just trying to make you feel good, and it's just
And then
over
what
the top.
happened? And then what happened?
Okay, so this is turning into a Jerry Springer episode, but I end up. So long story short, we end up having a kid,
Oh,
and
okay.
so
It's your baby
the
mama.
kid, yeah, exactly. So the kid was I'm my son's over here, so I'm gonna be. So it ended up being the biggest bind that kept me in that situation. And everybody the advice I would get from a lot of people was, hey, you got to stay together for the family. And that's one of the biggest points I wanted to tell people is that's the worst advice someone could ever give you. You have to prioritize yourself. Don't ever prioritize anybody over you. You
Yeah.
cannot have a happy family if you're not happy. Don't ever put your marriage or your kids or anybody before your happiness. You only have you only have your life. So make sure you're happy, and that's going to be this foundation that everything else can be built upon. And that's what I had to get to that point, because I was basically in a situation where, as you said, they build you up and then they tear you apart. So then they just tear you apart, and then they rewrite your narrative. So you might be this good person, you're this good person, but they're telling you you're this bad person. And they'll give you that little bit of high to keep you going, and then they plunge the relationship back into the hole. And when you're in the hole, that's where they have complete control over you, because you're trying to get back to the harmonious state. And so they're raising the bar this high, and you're doing everything to get back here. And that's when they have complete control over you. And when you're just beat up and tattered and torn, that's when they give you that little bit of love. And that little bit of love they give you is
Right.
that little, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, they get it. They finally get it. They finally understand what they're doing. So you're back up there, and then you plunge you back down. So I had to figure out, having a great circle around you is important to tell you, like, you know, when people's like, man, you're not even cracking jokes no more. I'm like, I looked in the mirror like, damn, my skin tone was changing. I'm like, damn, like I had like hit 260 pounds. I'm like, okay, something wrong. I usually got some muscles on me or something. And
Wow.
and my fam was like, you know, you need to get out of that situation. And so it took courage because there was a lot of people around the circle that was just saying, you know, stay together for your family. I had to get above that and realize I needed to prioritize my happiness.
Right.
And I took all my savings and I stayed in the Airbnb. I was broke as hell, and I took the last couple $1,000s I had and got an apartment, and all I had was a freaking a foam cushion, a pillow, and a cable box.
Wow.
And that's all I had. And I had the cable box because I worked at a cable company, so I got it free. But everything else, I was just laying on the floor because I had no money. I was just in the baddest shape. But I had, at least I was able to start rebuilding myself, and things end up like my life blossomed after that. But it was the courage to leave. That's the
The
hard
courage
part.
to
You
leave.
gotta you gotta you like you're comfortable. It's the evil, you know. You're like, damn, I know this situation. I know
Yeah.
this dysfunction. I'm used to this dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to get out of that situation. So whatever's holding you there, like, you just got to have that introspective thought, get around people that actually love and care about you. This person doesn't love and care about you. This
Yeah.
person, like, when I was in this situation, I was like, yo, this person looks at me as a thing, not as a person, not a person with emotions and thoughts and goals and dreams and ambitions. This person looks at me as something to play with because they clearly have some emotional issues, some mental issues, and I'm just a toy they're playing with to to to, uh, to get their fix.
Mm.
And so once I realized that, then it was easy to leave.
It's funny because before Kimberly was talking about how it feels like it's a drug trying to get away from the person, right? But it's kind of the same. It's the same both ways. They look at you like you're a drug. It's you're something that they want to hold on to as much as they can.
To control.
It's a control thing, right? And then when you have children, one thing that I have noticed, I mean, children see everything. So we
Yeah.
think that we're trying to hide everything from our children. We think that we're making it better because we're keeping our children around. We're keeping the family together. But what actually ends up happening is our children think that it's okay. So that's fine. Daddy's in a relationship with a narcissist. Well, obviously, that's what I have to grow up to be in a relation. That's who I have to grow up and be in a relationship with. So I'm glad that you were able to get out of that, so you could show your children, like, look, I'm strong. Look, I had to handle my own, and this is who you need to be with, somebody who treats you like the king that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one other point. I remember one time we were arguing, and my son was like 1 at the time. He had a bottle in his hand. He was walking. We were arguing. He walked out his room, and he made the biggest grunt, like, ugh. It like took me out of myself. I was like, damn, that's the most grown up person in this damn house. I was like, I need to get the hell up out of this. My son just checked us. This dude can't even talk. And he
Wow.
checked, yeah, I'm like, yo. So to just everybody on the call, there are, you can get out of it. You got to realize you can get out of it. You empower yourself. Like,
Mhm.
don't know how no one could really get whole, like, they could have financial ties, there could be financial difficulties. I've been there, and not only did I have financial difficulties in getting out, once I got out, then I had to deal with the freaking judicial system, and oh my God, I got screwed twice.
Wow.
um I had so much child support to pay. The second they saw my income, they was like, oh, we running this nigga through the ringer, and they did. And so
Wow.
it was a lot of recovery. Some people don't have to worry about that. But all I gotta say is there's financial hurdles or whatever hurdles. It's not worth your happiness. Life is way too short for you to sit there and say, I need to stay here because I don't know where I'm gonna live. Or you might live in a nice house and you're like, I'm gonna have to downsize to an apartment. Who gives a shit? Live in an apartment with your happiness, with some type of quality of life. I don't care how big the house is. I don't care what you got to give up. Never sacrifice your happiness to be in one of these relationships with a narcissist. And don't sacrifice your children's happiness. The
Fact.
That's
worst thing you can do as a parent is to raise some damn kids that when they turn 18, they can't just thrive and flourish. They have to heal from the shit you put them through.
Say it louder.
If your kid has to go through fix the past 18 years just to be able to focus on the next 80 or so years, you're a freaking failure. And then if your kids are black, not only are you sending them into a world where they got to be 10 times better than everybody or 100 times better than everybody, now they got to be 100 times better than everybody and dealing with the shit you put them
trauma through. The trauma.
Yeah.
You did say one other thing that actually hits home. Always make sure that your support system is a good support system. Have that support system, because if you don't, your friends will be like, look, you need to be with somebody, be with somebody, be in a relationship. It doesn't matter. You don't want to leave that's a good woman or that's a good man. I know that I've heard that a lot, especially the person that I was dating. People were like, no, you don't want to leave him. Are you sure? You sure you want to leave him? Yes, I'm sure. I like me more. So, making sure that you have that good circle of friends, that they're not yes men. They're people that will tell you the right thing and what's right for you, and that will look out for your best interest and the best interest of your children. So,
and make sure they got Make sure they got something to lose too. People that ain't got nothing to lose, they get the worst advice. Like, slash his ties, girl.
Say it louder.
Yo, I need someone that got something to lose, so they give me some solid damn advice.
Right.
With that said, I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, Jay, good friend of the show. Thank you. Always has brilliant advice and experience. We appreciate you, brother. The thing about, and talking about escaping a narcissist, because I know they say it's an addictive thing. And so she hit it on the head when she said it was like a drug. And so, escaping the narcissist, and people say, he says, Jay was talking about how we just have to love ourselves more. And you were talking about we have to love ourselves more, but getting out of that addiction, because it's easy for you to tell a crackhead, hey, you got to love yourself more than that crack. But when you're addicted to that crack, how do you do it? And a lot of people say you got to go cold turkey, no contact. You got to, but getting up the strength to be able to do it is the issue. And that's where therapy comes into play. That's where counseling and life coaching and things like that, having that circle of people around you that can keep you strong, not being, if you decide I'm going to go no contact, not being by yourself, not going and wallowing in your little, over there in the corner, but just trying to stay active and getting yourself out there and then meeting new people. They say, and I don't know about this advice. Some people say it's not good advice, but you told me the way you get over one is get under another. That might be an option for you too.
Over a man is to get under a new one.
That's what they say. I want to know what Miss Ned Thompson has to say. What's up, home girl? How you doing, lady? Oh, you are muted, Miss Lady. It's good to see you on the show, though. A little bit louder.
You hear me?
A little bit louder.
Hey.
Hey.
See?
It's cutting in and out.
I'm sorry. Well, I have to try back later.
No, we hear you now.
Good. Whatever you did.
I just want to say that I concur with the gentleman that's supposed to prior to me coming on, but I would like to add this, that when you are entering the dating field, you really have to pay close attention to your spirit of discernment. Because if you do, it will guide you and lead you and give you the signs to let you know that this person is bringing negative energy. Because, and also, you have to also check your level of vulnerability. If you're vulnerable, you send those signals out whether you're aware of it or not. And that narcissists, they look for prey. They can tell if you're vulnerable, if you have areas where you don't feel good about yourself, or if your self-esteem is that high. You can look marvelous from the outside, but your spirit will reveal itself that you have a level of insecurity. And then you look into your life to feel that hole, to validate you. So you really have to know your worth, who you are, and you have to have a high level of self-confidence. I'm not saying you have to be egotistical, but you have to be sure of yourself. And if there's something that you're looking for, you have to stick to that. I met a gentleman not too long ago, and I strongly believe he's a narcissist. When I first met him, he was very pleasant. overcompensating with his affection and all that. But my spirit kept telling me something's not right. But he revealed that he was not right because I explained to him I was looking for a relationship with one-on-one. He explained to me he wanted to date a multiple of people. He didn't want to commit. But he was very fun, very engaging. I enjoyed his company, but still my spirit told me no. Come to find out he was bisexual. Now I don't have anything against anybody's sexuality. That's not the spirit that I want. He wants to date bisexual. All those things goes against what I was looking for in a mate. However, he had the personality I was looking for. We were compatible in a lot of ways, but we were not compatible in a lot of ways as well. So now I had dated a long time, but I make sure that I'm fully aware of me, my vulnerability. If I know that I'm weak at that point, I kind of zoom in on everything because I don't want to be taken in by someone who feels that I'm not able to take care of my emotional feelings. You have to always take care of your emotional state of mind and your mental state of mind because you don't ever want to be weak where you're looking for something to fill your void because you have to make sure that you are holding complete before you bring somebody else. That's all I want to say.
Wait, Miss Ned. Hold on. You always give good advice too. We love you. We love you on the show. This is a question for you, April, and everybody that's watching. Do narcissists know that they're narcissists?
I don't think a lot of them know.
I think that they are aware of who they are, but as for them defining themselves as that, no. They know what they want, and they're only concerned about their wants.
Do they? So do they think that what they're doing is wrong?
No.
I don't think they do because it all goes back to, like you all mentioned before, there might have been some trauma they experienced in their lives during their early development. And because that trauma was not addressed later on and they grew up, it's all about me now.
So do narcissists ever have any compassion for anybody, or is it all an act?
I think that at certain levels they do, but it has to be someone that's really significant in their life that they truly care for. But there's few people that they do care for. Say for instance, they may love a mother or a father or a sister or a brother. It has to be someone really close to them.
Their children.
No.
They don't love their children?
I can't hear you.
They said some do, majority don't.
I can't hear Miss Net.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my phone. But I think that there are certain people that they identify that they really care for, but as a whole, it's all about them taking care of their own immediate needs.
You know, it's funny that you asked that question and you brought up the children. Another girlfriend of mine, she has a son and a daughter. I think a son and a daughter, and her ex-boyfriend actually kicked them all out of the house. He didn't care that they didn't have any place to go because she didn't want to be with him anymore. He was just like, okay, everybody must go.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So no, you have some situations. You're right earlier when you were saying that there are levels to it. There's certain situations where they're narcissists who do not care about anybody.
Wow. That's it. Well, thank you, Miss Net. We appreciate you coming on. Miss Motivational Speaker. Thank you. Yeah, you have a great evening too, Miss Lady. So listen.
They're jealous of their kids. Ooh.
Huh?
Erica was saying that they're jealous of their kids. And you know what? I can see that because one thing that I've seen on different shows, right? A husband is mad that there's a new baby getting all the attention. So he decides to go and cheat. Now, again, I'm not making this a gender thing. I'm only talking about what I've seen on certain TV shows, certain reality shows, right? Mm-hmm. So the husband it's like, I don't understand why my wife is not giving me the attention that she was giving me. Well, there's a whole new life that just came out of her hoo-ha, and she has to feed and make sure that this baby is taken care of, because obviously you care more about the fact that she's not giving you the love and attention that you so desperately need. So you have to go out and get it from somebody else instead of taking into account that your wife just had a baby and your baby needs some love. So jealousy, I would add to that. And somebody said, yeah, she said very jealous. Jealousy is definitely a huge, huge factor. You know, if you see that that person is doing better than you are, like financially, like I've dated guys who, when they found out how much money I made back when I was making some nice, decent money, when they found out how much money I was making, it was a problem. Like, why is it such a problem? I'm gonna need you to go sit down.
Would that be a narcissist issue?
Jealousy, and then not being able to handle it, and ghosting because I make more money, treating me different because I make more money. Yeah, I would say so.
Wow. So there are absolutely levels to it. And again, you know, every time we come on here, we want to just talk about, okay, we don't want to just talk about the problem, but we're going to talk about the solution. How do you get out of a narcissistic relationship? Because they could be really traumatic. We had Kimberly on here earlier when she was talking about her experience, which I'm so glad, I'm so grateful that she came on here, because, you know, she opened my eyes to a whole nother level of the trauma that people experience as a result of dealing with a narcissist. So, you know, I think it is a spiritual thing. And, you know, and a lot of them will quote scriptures, and, you know, the devil knows the Bible better than all of us here, because he's been around that much longer, and he knows exactly, what's in there. So he can quote scriptures. He can say everything that you want to hear. But the question is, how can you get out of that situation? How does people get out of that situation? And people are like, yeah, no contact. So this has been a very, very engaging conversation. We've been on here a lot longer than we normally are, but this has just been so eye-opening, just on so many levels, and just kind of being out there. It's kind of scary.
Ooh.
I want to go back in my shell. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know. I don't know if I can do this.
Ma'am, all you have to do is listen. When you start seeing those red flags, now we've had this conversation. You've seen if you see the red flags, turn and run.
Yeah.
But other than that, be present in the moment. Just that simple. Be present. You should go out and meet some people. Can I give a shout out?
Sure.
I want to give a shout out to Stay Hall, because she is one of our Hey Sis queens, and the fact that she is not here just grinds my gears and burns my bridges.
I miss Stay Hall too.
Because I feel like she would be she would have a lot to add to
a great perspective for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I do want people to know about? I want people to know about your show, April, Veg Out and Dine, because a lot of narcissism may come from environmental issues that stem from the food that we eat. So on Veg, you teach people how to really eat right. And I want people to really see what you're talking about with Veg Out. No, but really, I really want people I want to start eating right now that, you know, I'm out there in these streets. Now I got to cook my own food. I was never, I never had to worry about dinner because, you know, I was with a chef. And so now I have to figure out everything out. Got to cook for my kids every day. And so I'd love to learn some vegan recipes. So you going to show me, April?
Of course, I would love to show you how to make wonderful, delicious meals. And you know what? I'm going to sing while I cook those meals. I'm going to show you all that.
Sing me a tune.
La 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 la.
No, not like that. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
I
am a queen from beginning to end. I don't need you to lose for me to win. But you know what? Speaking about food, right? I heard that you're going to have this event where people are going to be learning about wealth and whatnot, but there's also going to be a chef there. Am I correct in that?
Oh, there's going to be a full staff over in Costa Rica. Have you been to Costa Rica?
I have not. It looks like I'll be going.
I want you to come, and I want everybody on this broadcast to come to Costa Rica with me. And I'm going to tell you all about
Transformation is not easy, but it is absolutely necessary.
Just 2 short years ago, it was me and 12 brave bosses that went on this transformational journey in Napa. There, we tackled the things that were holding them back. We broke them all the way down, and we left with actionable steps to create the lives of their dreams. The Weekend of Wealth Retreat was simply amazing. And there's an opportunity for you to join us again in Costa Rica, June 2022. You need to treat yourself and change your life. Do not miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to relax, to release, and to be transformed. Hello.
Hello.
How many people want to relax, to release, and to be transformed? I am inviting you. I'm giving you a personal invitation. I really am, to come and join us in Costa Rica next year. We're going to be there. It's going to be June. You have a whole year to plan. You have a whole year to pay. But I want to invite you. A lot of people have been dealing with trauma. A lot of people have been dealing with, being stuck in the same place and want to grow. Not only want to grow their businesses, but they want to grow and change their lives. And this is going to be an opportunity. We're going to have coaches there. We're going to have people that really help to shift your mindset to get you from stuck to start and from start to action. And it's going to be absolutely transformational. I used to do retreats all over the world with my good friend Lisa Nichols. If any of you guys know her, and they were amazing. We did them all over. We had bosses, Black women bosses from all over the world. I'm doing this retreat with not only women but men as well, so that we can come together and we can heal together, and then we could create the lives of our dreams. So go to weekendtowealth.com, weekendtowealth.com, and check us out. Again, you have a whole year to pay. But I want to invite you, especially Black people. We need to be in a place where we are healing, because we deal with trauma every day of our lives. And we need to change the narrative and change the trajectory of our lives. I want to see you there.
I want to see you there. Look, don't, what is it? Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Hello. Come on, somebody. So you go to ConstanceCarter.com, or you can go to weekendtowealth.com, but all the information is there. And I want to see you there. I want to see your lives transform, really. And that's what I do. I'm a wealth activist. I call myself a wealth activist. So not only am I looking to help you change, your financial status and help you to create the legacies for your children, your children's children, but not only that, because you could have all the money in the world, but if your mind and your heart ain't right, then it don't even matter. So I want you to come, and I want you to change your whole perspective and change your life and start to create the wealth that you need and you desire. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Facts on facts on facts. Hold on, Jay. You said we made it seem like she was gone forever.
No,
just this week. No.
Traveling.
We missed. Listen, we love it when Stay is in the building. Honey, Stay brings it. Okay, that's why I just want to make sure that we gave some love to our girl Stay. Hey, sis.
Hey, baby. Thank you. And hey, listen, I enjoyed the conversation tonight, you guys. You guys were so engaged, and man, I learned a lot. I am absolutely mortified and terrified of being out in these streets. So send me a good one, y'all. Y'all know somebody good? I don't even want to waste my time with the bad ones. Go on and send me somebody good. We love you. We thank you. Take care.